So I was scrolling on YouTube the other day, and ever since Papa ICT dropped his mentorship on YouTube, many YouTubers, myself included, took it and made their own strategy with it. The issue now is that you can find hundreds of ICT SMC strategies online, and I'm sure it can be very confusing for someone who's still looking for a strategy or is building their own one. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, because in the coming weeks, we're gonna dive deep in the content of those other YouTubers and backtest what they're teaching. The mission? Find the best ICT strategies. Outside of my own, of course, which by the way, you can still join in my mentorship. Check it out in the description. So you already know I love data and mechanical strategies, and we're out to find a strategy that is not only easy to apply, but is also repeatable. The more straightforward and foolproof, the better. No second guessing during a backtest. Let's start. So our first victim, our first YouTuber we're gonna check out is FaizSMC. To be honest, he has a pretty good following and he has some really good content, so you should check it out. And I like this particular strategy because it doesn't require a daily bias and is pretty mechanical. So we'll try to reproduce his results that he's showing in his videos, and we'll see where we can improve this strategy. So to backtest the strategy, we'll be using FX Replay, and I'm very happy to be one of their few sponsors. So if you want 15% off, you can check the link in the description and the discount code. But let's now go over the strategy. The strategy is actually very similar to one of my old videos, which was published way before his, but that's beyond the point. But I still like it very much because it's so simple. So first of all, you need to get to the screen at 9:30 a.m., which is a time very important for indices because this is the open. Then you need to mark out the 2 days high and the 2 days low. Then we just need to wait for a sweep of either of those levels. And then finally, we'll wait for entry formation with the break of structure and the fair value gap. So let's start it. We'll just finish this week and then we'll talk about where we could make things better. I have the strategy here locked in. To do that, I just simply use the incurred text, so you can do that. It is clearly 9:30. We had the open, so a big push just like that. Then we can just put the 2 days high. The 2 days low. The New York midnight. And then the 8:30 open. You can also put the 9:30 open, but I don't really use it on a day-to-day. Alright, so now that we have that, we can just go on the 1 minute just like he did in his videos. And then we just wait for a sweep of the level. Alright, so we just took out the 2 days high, so this is interesting. We have a fair value gap right there, but for me, this would be the low that we need to take out before having a break of structure. Alright, this is the new low I would like to see take out, right there. We created a new high. Let's see if we can break down. Beautiful breakdown right there. For the OGs right there, I'm just trying to look at the displacement size, but it doesn't require that in his videos. And then we have here a clear value gap with here an open gap. So just to be safe, I think I'm going to use the open gap because you never know. We could just fill it up and then go back down. In his videos, he's talking about covering the stop loss with a body, or you can go with the wick. So let's just do that. Obvious level, just like I love them, which is above 2.5 for me personally. I would go with this one, or you could go with those also. Let's put the order. 1% on a 100,000, which is 1,000. Alright, so we got a nice execution right there. And a nice take profit. So you can see here, 2,700. We eventually went for a 4%. And in his videos, he's going with pretty wide take profit. So I guess you can test that. But for me, I prefer having multiple small wins instead of big ones. And then we can continue the trading session. But what I would suggest is having specific rules about your wins and your losses. For example, after 2 losses, I would personally stop trading. And if you get a good win, there's nothing wrong with going home with that. So that's for me personally. And after 12, it would be over. I don't know if we would consider this one because, you know, when we took it out, this created the new high. And I just looked at, we took it out here. There was a small fair value gap right there which got filled, but I don't know if you would take that as a trade. But it eventually went pretty low. But for me personally, I would just skip on that because first of all, it's pretty close to 12. And also because I already had a win this day. So on FX replay, you can just press here and it would go directly to the next trading session. Let me just clean now the old levels and then we do it again. This is a 2 days low. And we'll do 4 or 5 days just so we can have an idea and then we'll check where we can improve. The New York Open is not really required, but I like having it on my day-to-day trading because on our own strategies, we're actually using those two levels, the 12 a.m. and the 8:30 a.m. to have a bias. So it's really useful to us, but for this strategy, it's not very useful. Alright, so we can now go on the 1 minute and we'll wait for either the 2 days high or the 2 days low to be taken out. Nothing yet. Oh, we're getting close to the 2 days high. Alright, we took it. But it's pretty close to 12, so I'm not too sure about that. Let's see if we have a good displacement. Yeah, there is a move right there, but let's check on the other time frame if we have a fair value gap. Nothing. Yeah, I would not touch that. And then we go to the next session. Alright, 2 days high. Today's low. Let's see how it goes. Alright, so right at the open we took out the level, but as you know, I don't like trading too close to the 9:30 open, but in his videos he didn't talk about that, so let's just follow the rules. No fair value gap for now. No fair value gap for now. Then I guess this is the new low, right? There's a fair value gap right there. Just for my own sake, I want to see the displacement, okay. Well, in his case, I don't know if he would consider this one to be the high before having a bridge of structure, but I see this high right there, which has a lower high and a lower high right there from on the left and to the right. So I would consider that to be my high. And then the stop loss right there. First obvious level, just go with this one for 2.5, but there are also those weak highs also that we could take out. Let's go with this one. Alright, so we got a nice execution. We almost died right there. And that's a stop loss. I'm just curious to see if we eventually go back up. Let's remove that. I'm seeing here a fair value gap. I don't know. So we had the first reaction from it. It's okay, just one loss. Let's go to the next one. Once again, we put the 2 days high, 2 days low. I'm just curious about this displacement right there. Yeah, more than 600. So for the people who know my channel, you know that I love those movements. There's a fair value gap right there. But that's beyond the point. Nothing. We're getting close to the 12 and also to the 2 days low. Let's see how we react from it. Nothing. So of course, just like all strategies, we don't trade every day. Well, I hope so, because usually what I saw, based on my experience at least, the more you trade, the less you make. Looks like another day without trades. Almost. Yeah, we got something, but it's after lunchtime, so I don't think we should take this one. I'm just curious to see. Yeah, we got a small one right there, but lunchtime we don't trade. Next, New York. Alright, so we have the 2 days low right there. This is the next Monday, so I think we'll just end this day. Hopefully there's a trade. If not, it's okay, I will just skip on that. Oh, there you go. So we took out the level. We have a nice reaction. We had a nice reaction from it. Let's see if we can form a fair value gap. Okay, so just like our first successful trade, we got a double stop hunt, right? And personally, I love seeing that. So we got the break of structure right there. We took out this low. We have a fair value gap right there. We can just put the order in here and then go for the first level. Yeah, the risk to reward is not the best at the first level, but to be honest, let's see if we put a fib level in here. What you could do is just put your entry at the 50, but there's a risk that you will be missed. There's a risk that you will be missed by in the trade. So I think I'll just leave it here and then we'll see how it goes. But I really like the fact that we took out twice this high. Oh, there you go. Looks like I didn't get triggered. Yeah, this one's a loss also. Let me check the displacement in here. Less than 600. So we eventually went up again. Left some fair value gaps right there, but nothing. This was another level. Alright, so let's just stop it here and go directly to things I would do to make this strategy better. So something I would study very deeply is at what time was the today's high and low form, because if you've been studying ICT content, you know that usually on a classic buy day, you would like the 2 days low to come back, take out the Asian low, we have a move up, then right before New York we have a quick retracement, and then New York usually does what London did. And you can see here, this is not a perfect classic buy day, but look here, London, right before New York, come back down, and then a comeback up, right? So in the case where we come back to take out the 2 days low, which was formed in the middle of London, you should expect a quick reaction and an important reaction. So in today's example, what I would do in my journal is, at what time was the 2 days high formed? In this case, it was formed at 7 a.m. So I would just write that. And then the 2 days low was formed around midnight. So I would add those two things in my journal. And I can't believe I'm giving you that here because this is content I'm actually teaching in a mentorship and people are paying for that. But anyway, the second thing I would study is where was the break of structure? In what time frame? Was it only in the 1 minute? Was it on the 2 minute, 3 minute, and on the 5 minute? So there are downsides also that you need to be aware of, because if you keep on waiting for a 5 minute break of structure, yes, it will be a stronger break of structure since it's a higher time frame, but the 5 minute is moving slower than the 1 minute, so you might miss the move on the 5 minute. If we come back to this specific level, you can see here that we didn't get a 5 minute break of structure, so we could have saved ourselves this loss. And same thing on the 3 minute, you can choose to just stay on the 2 minute, 3 minute, or use a combination of both. So I have a video on that on my channel, you can check it out. And then the third thing I would study is how the 12 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. affect my trades. So if you've been watching ICT content, you know that usually what you want to do, like very globally, you want to sell above the 12 a.m. New York open and also sell above the 8:30 a.m. open, right? And you also want to buy below the 12 a.m. and also buy below the 8:30 a.m. because overall this should give you a good discount on the price. But this is not always the case. So if you like this strategy, I think studying those 3 points can make it much more powerful. And I think backtesting around 6 months to get a good idea of the strategy is enough. We didn't backtest enough in my opinion to get a good feel of the strategy, but I know those concepts are powerful, so I would study them. And if you have other strategies or YouTuber you want me to backtest for you, simply tag them in the comments and I'll check them out. I'm really open to try them out and tell you my opinion on them. Take care and until next time.